All right, everybody, we are back with another edition of Sci-Talk. This time, we are reviewing Season 1, Episode 16, Too Short of Season.
And boy, oh boy, we're in for another interesting Season 1 episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we give our opinions, why don't we just get into a little synopsis for all those who've seen it and need a reminder, who haven't seen it, go watch it. So
It's not a bad episode
So yeah, I think it's it's not perfect, but here's what happens. So
for Season 1.
they Starfleet needs to negotiate the release of a hostage on some planet that they had a similar situation with in the past. There's a bunch of hostages and they need to negotiate for their release. So there's an admiral who was on the mission 40 years ago and did pretty much the same thing, and the person they need to negotiate with is demanding that admiral come and be part of the mission. So, of course, our Captain Picard and the crew go pick this admiral up, and he assumes command of the away team of the mission and all these things. But it turns out the twist at the beginning is that he's secretly taking a drug to make him young again. Now, he's old and has a disease that makes it to where he can't walk and he's weak.
He's dying.
But without telling anyone, including his wife, he secretly is de-aging himself. So as people find out, because he's not really hiding it, he starts flaunting it. The doctor and everyone is worried because there's our side effects, but it's put to the wayside because we need to do the mission. As the mission unfolds, it turned out it's not a real hostage situation, it's a ruse. And I forget his name. Karnak just wants to get revenge on this admiral because something he did 40 years ago that everyone doesn't know about except the admiral. And just to make a long story short, because we're going to get into specifics, this admiral decided to negotiate the hostages by giving both sides weapons in a conflict on this planet. And ever since he did that idea and lied to Starfleet about it,
they've been at war.
They've been at war ever since.
And
so
yeah,
it's all just a revenge plot to get the admiral. And it pretty much boils down to, because of the admiral's failing health, because yes, the procedure, he decides to take too much of the drug, which they told him not to do, and it ends up pretty much killing him. So they can't fight their way to stop the hostages. He has to pretty much surrender himself unto his enemy, Karnak, to whatever Karnak wants to do with him. And Karnak is like, I just want to kill you, but you're dying now, so I'll just watch you die. And then after he dies, he's like, okay, well, here's the hostages back. Goodbye. Roll credits.
So the whole thing was really just to draw the admiral back to the negotiating table that he negotiated 60 hostages released 45 years ago by giving this man weapons, but he didn't know he was giving his opponents, the enemy weapons, the same weapons. And the admiral thought that was a good idea. Maybe if I give him weapons, I just give them weapons and balance it out.
And they'll be done fighting in a year or two, which was very naive. So let's break it down into two sections, because it's really like there's the first half of this episode, the A-plot, and then the twist leads into the true portion of the episode.
Right.
First, we're all worried about his health and his experimental procedure, and let's talk about it. Because I actually like the acting in the show. I think there were some comments online about the Admiral's acting not being good. My biggest issue with the Admiral was I feel like his makeup was a little heavy-handed and could have been better. I know they're trying to portray this old man who has a disease that's dying, even though the disease seemed like it was more of a muscular nature than something that would make you ugly. But I feel like his makeup was a little extreme and kind of ugly. They did have to phase it down in stages as he got younger.
Right. And so
but even as they did it, there were some things on him that I was just like, it's a little...
So we talked about the makeup being too much, but then as the episode progressed, you realize why they made it so much, so that they can steadily take away from it and make him de-age throughout the whole episode to his real face.
And it's the first season, so it cut them some slack.
Right. But the makeup when he was the old admiral was a bit much. It was like he wasn't 85. It was like he was 185. You know, it looked like he was extreme, decrepit. Like
right, and I guess you could blame that on the disease because they never were specific, except the fact that it took his walking away.
But I still think that, like that it was
too
much.
I feel like it could have been better. Now, the next thing I would complain about, and I'm starting with complaints. But overall, it's still an entertaining episode, especially compared to some of the actual bad episodes of the first season. It was a pretty decent
episode, the storyline and all of that kind of stuff. Except they had plot holes, but we'll get to that after you finish saying what you're saying.
So yeah, but despite this being a pretty good episode compared to the other season 1 episodes, I didn't like his makeup for real, and I feel like his motivation for doing the drug was weak and a little bit nonsensical. I mean, it's not unbelievable, but it was a little bit just kind of like a stretch because essentially it's a dangerous procedure. You need to take it, and over time you'll get younger.
Right.
But he's like, I got called for this mission.
Let's set it up a little bit. He started taking an experimental drug before this mission came across his desk, right? And the procedure is a certain dosage over 2 years. Okay, so this mission comes up. He was seeing that a little bit of improvement, very little bit of improvement from the start of the drug. Obviously, he hadn't been taking it long. And then the mission comes up and he wants to take, the whole thing, which nobody knows this toward the end, but he took his dose and he had got his wife a dose. And he took all of that at one time, so he killed himself pretty much.
So like I was going on to say is that I don't necessarily feel like his motivation was very compelling for him to risk his life by taking too much of the drug that seemed like it was actually working for him.
Exactly.
And because here's the motivation. This mission, well, we talked about the secret plot. He knew that he ruined everything, so he wanted to go back and help. I don't see how particularly him being a young dude would have really helped. He even went on the away team when he was finally young, and he didn't really make much of a difference. Even if on this away team mission, he suffered from his symptoms of using too much of the drug and ruined the mission. But let's say hypothetically it worked. There's other security officers that could have did the same thing he did.
Right.
They could have had a way for him to see down there and guide them through the base as an old man on a ship. So what's my point? My point is like he just wanted to feel like he was back in his glory days. And to me, that was a little ridiculous because I'm wheelchair ridden, I'm nearly at the end of my life, I'm dying. I found the fountain of youth sort of medication, and instead of just being patient, doing this mission as a normal person, I need to take all of it, take way too much, endanger my life, almost ruin the mission too.
So
for what? Just so I can feel like I'm in the glory days? And there's a scene of him walking on the bridge and showing off to everybody. So it was more vanity, and I didn't feel like that was just as believable. Because, like, I mean, come on, man.
Again, we know that the first season was a lot of writers were coming and going.
Oh, and I read that they had some changes to this episode. They rewrote the end, and they did a few things to the episode. So there were, there was things going on.
We could see that it was. The motivation was off because, you're an old man and you're taking some experimental drug because there's no cure for your disease. Beverly confirmed that there's no cure for his disease. And once you get it, you just got it. And he's been in a wheelchair for 4 years. It's like he's never walking again. And for him to get up and begin to walk raised everybody's suspicion. And then he finally revealed about the drug. And when he revealed about the drug to Captain Picard, he was like, but that's a myth. Like, no, it's not. I'm taking it. And so, Captain Picard said, there was a few lines in this that was just stuck in there randomly that it was like, anyway. So, the whole situation was that the motivation, like he was saying, the motivation of this admiral to be getting some type of sense of, hey, this drug is working, I better do it exactly like they say so that it can work, and maybe I'll be able to walk again, maybe I'll be a little younger again. This mission comes up, and I'm so anxious to be young for what reason?
So I'll be specific.
It was no reason for him to overdose on the
but
drug.
Let's say what he said
for
his
the
reason
mission.
is. Let's say what he said his reason is, and just deconstruct that. Because we know with logic, it'll just be like, just do the mission normally,
right?
Take the medication normally, and
right.
hopefully you'll be back to your young self and can walk
in a couple of years, right?
But because he felt bad about the decision he made 40 years ago, leading to their 40 years war, he wants to be on the he feels like he needs to be on the front line.
But then it really wasn't stated before he did this that it was going to be a necessity for an away team. So it's like he anticipated.
He didn't anticipate. He just wanted to help,
team.
And he wanted to. So the real thing is that he wanted to more so live in the glory days, feel like he was back aboard the starship and doing it good.
And he was. He was on a starship. He was in command. They let him get in the helm, but not in health. And that's like really that don't motivate you to take an overdose.
It all breaks down because if you just be patient,
young again, right?
It all falls apart because if you just been patient, you could have succeeded and had everything you want and solved the mission. Because I mean, reality Starfleet is much more powerful than this guy and these planets and these things. Okay. And if they wanted to come solve the situation or get revenge if they happen to kill this isn't like a big pivotal battle where it's going to affect the whole Federation. He could have easily got other officers to do what he did and stayed on the bridge and lived.
Even when they revealed that it was a ruse, that there was hostages, but there was no third party holding them. Karnak, his old enemy that he negotiated and gave weapons to, he was holding the hostages, and he just wanted this particular admiral to come back so he can get revenge on what he did, arming both sides. So that was discovered by the admiral after the fact. Mm-hmm. So the motivation,
discovered. He dang near told him. Once they were talking on that private line.
That's what I'm saying.
He made it very apparent.
He had already did the overdose. He was already young then.
Exactly.
So it was after the fact.
He didn't do it because he knew he'd be on the front line.
Exactly.
He got a taste of this new drug and then pretty much just went off the deep end.
Yeah.
So let's move to another aspect. So besides us not liking his makeup and his motivation being weak, I felt the acting and the characterizations were pretty good.
Pretty good.
There was some weak dialogue that we can talk about a bit. And also the ending is kind of, maybe they're rushing. They throw logic out of the window. So let's just nitpick for a little bit. We got enough time to do a little bit of nitpicking. In the end scene, Karnak starts threatening everybody in front of him. So Picard's like, so here's what happened. We got the Admiral there, and he looks like he's 26, 25 or something. Yeah. Karnak's like, I don't recognize this guy. Where's the old man who did all the stuff I'm mad at him about? And they're all like, this is him. And they try to prove it to him. And he's all like this. If y'all don't bring me the real one, I'm killing everybody here. Picard is a Starfleet captain. If you killed him, in my opinion, Starfleet would come and destroy you. Then they'd probably leave the innocent alive too, but you and your organization ain't winning that fight.
Right.
So that's illogical.
Right.
Even though he said this, which fine, the dude's mad and crazy and trying to get his plan. Mm-hmm. Even after he said that, Picard's like, oh look, Admiral's about to die. Hey, Admiral's wife, why don't you beam down here and just console him? Did you hear Karnak just said he's willing to kill everybody here? Also, another thing. Why is Captain on the away team? Period.
Okay, that's another nitpick before you move to the captain.
We still want to talk about the scene of him threatening everybody and no one taking it serious. Like, no one's even fazed by his threats.
But the thing about it is that this dude started dying in front of him. And he couldn't even get back up. And Captain Picard begins to negotiate. Then the wife beamed down. Then all of a sudden, the dude is not buying it. The dude get up and say, give information that only he know. And they're like, but that ain't doing it still. And he say, what about the scar? Show me the scar. And then he shows him the scar, and it's like, why you didn't show him the scar in the beginning?
So in other words,
before you fell out and stuff, it's me, man. It's the scar.
Yeah. So they TV does this all the time.
Right.
Sometimes you can get over it, and this time it was pretty annoying because it's like we appear, and it's like, okay, this is him. I don't believe you. Instead of being like, look, here's the scar you gave me when we had our private meeting.
Right.
He waits till he's nearly dead. to be like, look, here's a scar. It's like you could have did that 15 minutes ago.
And then he pretty much dies right after. But we'll get back to that. Let's go back to why is the captain on the away team.
So, all right, the first situation when they decide, oh, we're going to find the hostages in the old mines or whatever, in the underground passages, Picard goes with the Admiral and the away team.
Right.
Why can't Riker go? Now, like we said, these are nitpicks.
Yeah,
but there's a
and
few
it's
little
the first
things
season, so...
Geordi's there for no reason.
I know, and Data's on the away team for no reason. When it's a security issue...
And when we say no reason, we just mean their jobs aren't defined. These people can go on away missions. But in the first season, what is Worf's job? What is Geordi's job? It's just whatever they need.
We know generally when you go on an away mission, if it's a security hostage negotiation, you're not sending your engineers, you're not sending
He wasn't chief engineer,
right, but he was a helmsman. You know, he flies the ship. He does engineering. He don't do security.
You would send the whole security team is what you would do.
You would send a security team. Tasha, security
but
chief.
They haven't got
maybe Worf because he's an all-around man at the time, but definitely security officers. Captain Picard wouldn't have went on the away team, but he went to pick up the negotiations. They needed him down there.
He went because he was suspicious of the health of the Admiral, which he could have easily told Riker to do.
Keep an eye on that.
So that's the real complaint and nitpick here is that it's really a complaint with the season. The jobs weren't well defined.
Right.
So you got a bunch of random hodgepodge people doing stuff, and we don't really understand why, which not a big deal. But still, that's what we're talking about, nitpicks.
So, another nitpick.
No, actually, I have a real thing that we should discuss. That's not even a nitpick, but you can go first.
Go ahead. What?
Deanna was also useless. That was my nitpick. Well, they're saying a used nitpick. But she...
Okay, let me say my nitpick first.
They didn't write her well enough in this episode.
They definitely did. The line that... you know the line I'm getting at. That was a nitpick for me. When the lady, the Admiral's wife, was in Beverly's office and Deanna was there and the wife was venting her frustration with her husband doing
and consulting them about she was consulting the doctor and I guess Deanna Troi just happened to be there about his health. Right? And because she's just new to this whole him de-aging and all this stuff, so she's frustrated and talking to them and they're having a discussion.
Opening up and then she said, why would he do that? And Deanna look at her with a little stern face and say, he's trying to save lives. Like,
first of all, she didn't even look stern. I think did they want her to be a Vulcan? No, it felt like she was emotional.
Trying to be.
It felt like
like
they
a Vulcan
directed her like a Vulcan because she's like he was just trying to save lives. And why are we mad at that?
She looked mean.
Okay, let's get to it though. Why are we mad at her saying that? Because that's not even close to the real reason why he did it.
It has nothing to do with why he did it.
Why are we mad at her? She's supposed to be able to sense...
Empath. She's supposed to be able to sense this. Go ahead.
Emotions and intentions. And the first situation, she senses that somebody is holding something back, whether it's maybe the Admiral or Karnak. But now she's had plenty of time to feel and be around him. And the show, here's why it's a problem, because the show gives us a certain idea of why he's doing what he's doing. When she says that's completely going against what we've seen.
Right.
He just wants to feel good, live the glory days, be back on a mission, and try to try to fix some of the harm that he did on the planet.
Right.
But he didn't take the drug because he thought he needed its help to save lives.
Right.
He took the drug so he could feel good.
And it wasn't even about this mission. He took the drug before this mission, and he was
already... Well, we're talking about when did he start taking more of the drug?
Right. I don't think he took it on the ship. But maybe they didn't define that he took both of the doses on the ship.
Well, here's what I think, because he said he got some for her.
Right.
Or his wife.
He had a dose for her.
And he ended up taking that too. So I'm thinking they're implying it happened on the ship at some point.
I would say, my theory would be, he took it, both of them, when he heard about this mission, and it was like a reason, his real reason, even though he told his wife some BS about, I wanted you not to be able to take care of invalid, and he told her
that was part of it, but why he rushed to kill himself by mistake.
That he took all of the drugs and all of this stuff was that mission came up that 45 years earlier.
He ruined everything.
He totally messed dropped the ball.
And for some reason, which is why we complained, for some reason he felt him being younger would help him fix the situation. And it did not.
Him being alive would have helped the situation more than him killing himself.
It actually hurt the situation, him taking too much of it.
Right.
And if he was on the ship while he took too much, he might have still been able to help from sickbay. They had to cancel the whole mission, pull everyone out to save him.
The away team, right.
And he was the main guy.
And the dude, Carnage, decided that I'm going to kill a hostage if you don't bring him back. So they beamed him back down there with the doctor because he was dying in before he went back down there. And he stood there for a minute and then he collapsed and he was dying. He finally showed him the scar and then he died.
So we know all that's happened. So as an episode, when it comes to the themes that's interesting and how it stacks up to other stuff, it's kind of low, but its execution is well enough to where when you're watching it, you're entertained, you're engrossed, you're following along with the story. If you don't think too hard, you really won't notice a lot of the stuff that we are complaining about.
Right.
Maybe some of the characterizations, like Deanna and her comment, that didn't help. And there's one comment that's kind of like bad writing and hammy, where the admiral's sitting at the helm.
Yeah, the helm.
And
that's
he's like,
line.
"Oh man, I just wanted to feel like I was back in command of a starship." And awkwardly, Captain Picard's like, "Well, actually,
it's just temporary."
It's actually just temporary. And it's like, dude,
you know
I mean, it should have been like, Deanna should have been like, relax, Cardi. It was just...
Relax.
It was just an expression. I'm sure he doesn't think this is it. It's like Picard's like, it's my ship.
Don't get too comfortable, man. It's my ship, and I remember that.
And if they wanted him to act like that, that was just an awkward way of doing it that felt out of character. It's season 1. I'll let it go.
We'll let it slide.
So what do we want to say as we wrap up this?
Overall, it was a good episode. It was an entertaining episode. There was a few little things.
Especially compared to some of the other episodes in season 1.
It was a few plot holes, like his real motivation for wanting to be young.
And I wouldn't call it a hole. I would just say it's just kind of weird. Because I would say most people who have been wheelchair and sick for years and are on their last leg.
For 4 years he's been in the wheelchair.
Would be patient enough to let the experimental procedure work. He saw signs of it working. And he used the excuse of this mission to take way more,
take it all,
while knowing that it's dangerous.
Right, because they said it'll either help you or it'll kill you. So it was
he takes a double dose after he sees it working because...
And not over a time that you're supposed to take the first dose over a 2-year time span. So, yeah, that
So we felt like it was kind of weak because most people would be like, I'll just wait. I'll just do the mission from my wheelchair and I'll feel a little better because it's starting to work.
And that's
it. I'm not going to rush it because...
For this mission?
I want to help in a way that you have security officers that could go down.
Well,
you could tell Data the whole layout of the place and he'll remember it.
He took the drug before he even realized
we're talking about he took more on the ship after he realized that...
He took him before he even got to the ship.
He took one before he got to the ship. He took her dose before... Well, I mean, you saying before he got to the ship. The mission. When he heard about the mission is when he took more.
Okay.
Whether it's on the ship or off the ship. Right. That's what I meant to be. Is that he's doing fine. 1 dose. Hears about the mission. Uses that as an excuse to take a second dose.
Hold on.
And it didn't help.
Wait a minute.
It was illogical.
No, because he didn't take 1 dose. That 1 dose that he had was supposed to be taken over a 2-year time frame. So not only did he take it all at once...
I mean, we agree that now we're just nitpicking ourselves on semantics, okay? The point was he took what he needed to take. He used the excuse of this mission to take more. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, we agree
on
that.
That's when he did it and whatever. But I felt that was weak in most people, especially successful admiral. He must have made good decisions most of his career.
We said earlier when we was watching it, if he had like 2 weeks to live or something like that, then he has nothing to lose by taking all
general. I feel like there should have been some more stakes to make him feel like he needed to do it.
More motivation.
Because now he's just simply being reckless and illogical.
And that's all. That's it.
Reckless and illogical because it wasn't like, I'm the best gun in Starfleet. Every away team, I was just the best of the best, and if I'm on that mission, it'll go great. He ain't that type of officer. So him being young changed nothing.
Changed
and even if his plan worked and he didn't get sick, it would have changed little to nothing. Because they could have found the hostages while he was on the ship helping them from the ship. So that's what I feel like his motivation is the weakest. It's not necessarily a hole, but to me it's weak.
It's weak. It's not enough motivation. And what can we say? We'd be being redundant. So that's the gist of this episode. We give it a...
I don't know.
It's definitely a entertaining episode. So definitely watch it and see what you think about it. And maybe put in the comments what you...
how do you,
worst part about it.
Yeah, let us know how you feel. What do you like about this episode?
What do you hate
What do you
about
feel is, not good? How do you feel about the Admiral? How do you feel about the acting? I actually think the acting was pretty
too
good.
Bad at the end when he was dying. It was funny.
It was kind of like original Trek with how dramatic it was when he was standing up dying. But hey, at least he did look like he didn't have a long time to go.
Right.
So make sure to tell us in the comments how you feel. You got anything else to say?
That's all out. We ain't beaming out.
Yeah, too short a season, or is the season 1 not short enough? Just kidding. I love all of Star Trek, even Goofy season 1.
Check it out. We'll be back again real soon with another episode of Sci-Talk. Meanwhile, we have done a sci-fi movie. We shot a sci-fi movie. It's out now. We'll put maybe the website you can go see it on, and right across here or something. We'll put the website so you can go check it out. It's an alien invasion sci-fi movie done with no budget, no actors.
What's the title of this movie?
Eminent Domain.
Right. So if you're looking out on our channel for our sci-fi movie Eminent Domain, and make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we will be bringing you more Sci-Talks, skits, and all kinds of sci-fi fun.
And we're out.